Hello. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. This is fabulous. We are so, looking around this room, this makes me feel so good to see so many of you here for our annual breakfast to start our campaign for the Y. So I want to thank you ahead of time for your time, and looks like you are having a good time at the tables. So I'm Dr. Cheryl Dixon. I'm the current president of the Y, and it's an honor for me to actually hold that position. As the president of an organization that makes an impact for community members in so many ways, with the programs that they do, the scholarships that they have for families, the partnerships they have with community, and they do it all for persons that are young as well as older, and for families. And they do it with the DEI lens that respects the needs of diverse cultures in an inclusive and equitable way. As a health provider, I'm acutely aware of the importance of community organizations and programs such as what the Y does to actually create better health outcomes for all of our community members. So in general, I just want to say welcome again. And at this time, I'd like to recognize some people here. So I'd like to have all elected officials please stand so you can be recognized. Next, I'd have all board members please stand. All Y board members, please stand to be recognized. Next, I'd have all alumni board members of the Y, please stand to be recognized. And thank you again. This celebration is for community and the Y's mission and the important work that the Y is called to do. Thank you, everyone.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Rhonda Ludwig. I'm the Vice President of Membership and Fund Development, and I appreciate all the work that's happened to get us all in this room today. So thank you very much. As you walked in the room, you might have noticed up on the screen scrolling names, and I wanted to start by thanking our 2022 donors for the efforts that they were allowed us to do. So in 2022, we had 436 members, board members, staff, and the community stand with us, raising over $332,370. These partnerships, collaborations, and folks willing to stand with us make the Y able to do all the great work that we're going to do. And today you're going to see some more of that work. And I want to start off by also thanking our presenting sponsor, ABRAXAS. Thank you so much. And for the first time this year, we've offered up table sponsorships, and we weren't sure. You know, it's like you do something for the first time, you're never really sure how people are going to respond to that. And I'm so thankful for those of you who stepped up and said, I want to be a table sponsor. So thank you to AVB, BRKC, Consumers Energy, Sheriff Goslin Roofing, All Season Windows, the One Staff Group, Welsh & Associates, and First National Bank. Thank you so much. We have a few other people in the room that made this happen. Those of you who are table hosts, would you please stand? All the table hosts, come on now. I'm sure some of you have felt like your arm was twisted a little bit to come, but if it wasn't for the work of the table hosts and helping us to get you in the room, this event would not be possible. So thank you very much for your support and your help and your efforts in making this happen. I know you got a few emails to help you along, and I appreciate your patience and diligence in getting people at your tables. Thank you. I would be remiss in not thanking another group of people who live the Y's life every single day. And I want to express my appreciation to the staff who are in the room, who work diligently every day to do the work that the Y does in the community, and also helping hands to make this event a success. Would the staff in the room please stand? You can tell we like to have parties around here. I'd also like to throw out a special thank you to a group of people who helped keep me in line and make, again, this event happen. And that's Vicki Kettner, Brooke Beeman, and Megan Lindstrom. Thank you so much for your hard work. Once again, thank you all for coming, and enjoy the information and programs that we have to share with you today.
Well, I'm Dave Morgan. I'm the president and CEO of the YMCA. I want to thank you as well. Boy, it's bright up here. So a couple things. I'm actually going to go a little bit off script today because I got to grab a few things. Gene, come on up. So Jean is, and I don't want to cry, but Jean is retiring. This is her last breakfast with us. Well, not her last breakfast, as her last breakfast as an employee, because she's a table host and that lives on in perpetuity. There's some pictures up there. Jean the other day sends me a text and says something, because one of the jokes is when you're leaving or retiring, you're dead to us. And so she sent me a text going something to the effect that she found a candle that was perfect for her. By the way, we have a couple guests here today that might want to say hi to. Her boys are here. So we did a little bit of, I was trying to figure out what my words might be, and so I asked the staff to put together just kind of the word cloud and put them up there. And some of the words may not make sense to you, but the biggest one that came up was yellow, and Gene understands what that means, which is a kind of a personality test thing we do, and Gene is very much a yellow. So let me just say that. The other thing I have to say about it was they came up, I also realized when you do a word cloud, and it asks you to list the words, I put in old school, but it reads the space, so it came up as old on there. So I wanted to make sure I took that off, because that was not my intent. So I had to make sure that was corrected, because that's not what I wanted to say. But what you can tell is several words came up that described Gene, and it was family, discipline, just an amazing person, and somebody that we will truly, truly miss. When I applied for this job and I was in the process of looking at it, my CFO at my last Y was good friends with Gene and says, "Good luck." No, he said, really, he goes, "You'll really enjoy her," and I've truly enjoyed my time. So with that, we have a couple little appreciation awards. Says, in deep appreciation for your years of exceptional leadership and devoted service to the YMCA Retirement 2023. So Gene, I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you a hug. Gene is also loves to be outside. So as we started thinking about what to do for Gene, the plant is Gene's. And we had Landscape Forums put together a bench that will go into her backyard, so that bench is also yours, Gene, as your retirement gift. So
thank you so much.
So with that, thank you, Gene. I think she thought we were going to forget about her at one point, because she's like coming to my office. I'm like, we've got it, but we kept it a really good secret for a long time as we got our sons lined up and everything else. So thank you, Gene. That's her seat for the rest of the program. So, all right, I'm going to go back a little bit. Pardon me. So, in the past, we've had speakers like Dr. Dixon, who shared the importance of health equity and the wise ability to make sure we're responsible for our communities and all that we are responsible to serve. We had Kim Carter focus on youth development and the importance of making sure kids are supported and, most importantly, seen. And last year, we had Will and Tony, if you remember, those that were here from Men of Purpose, that shared their really powerful and critical partnership with the YMCA around serving teens at the Y. Those were powerful speakers with a powerful message that provided great context to the work the Y has been doing for years. So our story today will be a little bit different. Rather than guest speakers, staff and volunteers will be sharing today. And we will use a couple of impactful videos to bring additional context to the work that we do. But before we get into the stories, I want to take a few minutes to share how we determine the work that we do. Because I think for us, it always starts with our values. As we started to really look at where we are and where we wanted to go, we recognized that there was a gap in our strategy. While the values of caring, honesty, respect, and responsibility had served us well for many, many years, we needed a new approach that will help guide us going forward. So in the fall of 2022, the Y embarked on a journey to renew its core values. With the input of both volunteers and staff, we took a deep look into our belief system to make sure that our values aligned with our purpose, our responsibility, and the work that we were already doing. We knew ultimately these new core values would guide our programs and culture and help us move into the next generation. We would use them to drive innovation and guide how our organization operates and across all levels of interaction. So after much work, this group of Y leaders came up with a more robust and comprehensive set of values that we believe in, and I'm excited to announce today. They are integrity, collaboration, diversity, and health. So what does that mean? Let me take a moment to define those for you and tell you some stories along the way. When I say integrity, we mean we will choose courage over comfort. We will choose what is right over what is fun, fast, and easy. We will choose to participate or to practice our values rather than simply professing them. It is something that I've preached to my staff for the 5 years that I've been here. From the moment I got here, I talked to them about making sure that we are a trusted organization, that one that can be counted on to have its actions match its words. So I'll tell you one of the first stories that I had here, and it really it plays into this. We had a conversation early on about, we had some problems with a lot of kids coming to the Y. I know that sounds silly, right? But, kids being kids and teens being teens. And one of the conversations was raising our rates to a point where maybe less kids would actually come into the building. And so as we had a conversation I had a conversation with the staff, there was talk about, okay, again, there's just so many kids coming and it's hard for us to manage, and what might we want to do to bring that down a little bit. And so we talked about it, and as you start thinking about it, you're like, okay, if we raise our rates and we have less people, how does that impact us financially as well? And we started recognizing that that might cost us $10,000, $20,000 a year in revenue loss. So the question became do we want to be known as the organization that has less kids in our building or the one that wants more? And so I said, well, let's say if our net loss is at $20,000, what if our approach is to put that $20,000 into staff and partnerships that might provide more gym supervisors, more people in the youth center, and other areas within the building that can help guide, support, and mentor those young teens. The easy approach would have been to raise the fees and have less kids. The courageous approach was to invest in our kids and to encourage more participation. That's what we mean by integrity. It's about courage over ease. When we say collaboration, we mean we will strategically and equitably find partners whose values align with ours. We will see every relationship as critical. We know that we can't do this work alone. Last year, you heard from the newly formed partnership of Men of Purpose. Today, Will and Tony's group have entrenched themselves into our youth center and our programs at the Y on a weekly basis, bringing to the table a level of expertise and credibility that we just didn't have. It's not about the Y. It's not about the logo. It's not about any one organization. We need to find partners that can do it and partner together to make the greatest success possible. Diversity. When we say diversity, we will respect and appreciate the differences. We will empower individuals and trust them to make decisions that are best interests of the community. And I say community, I didn't say YMCA. We will be open to innovation and ideas that let the best ones come through and benefit the entire organization. We will ensure all segments of society have access to the Y and feel welcome. We will intentionally and continuously strive to promote an inclusive organizational culture. The reasons we are here today is key to diversity. We are here to raise money for our financial assistance program. It is important that when we say we are for all, we truly mean we are for all. So without stealing Rhonda's thunder, what does that mean? It means we will eliminate barriers to participation, easing the burden of accessing our financial assistance program, offering services specifically to underserved communities, like our newcomers group from places like Afghanistan, South Africa, and the Congo. By hosting a trans pool party at the Y so that our trans community feels welcome and supported at the Y, giving their group an opportunity to participate in an environment of comfort and safety. When we say health, we mean we will create an environment that promotes positive physical and mental well-being for both the individual and organization. We will promote an environment of psychological safety and trust. And for this, I'm going to show a short video.
A city is more than just buildings and roads. It's a tapestry woven together by the people who call it home. A city's well-being hinges on the health of its people. As a center of inclusion, the YMCA of Greater Kalamazoo is dedicated to cultivating a vibrant and healthy community. And it all begins with access. It provides tools necessary to help build new skills, confidence, and self-esteem. It's about fostering a community that empowers its neighbors. With over 150 group exercise classes, personal training, healthy aging, and chronic disease classes, the YMCA of Greater Kalamazoo is a place where we can be a part of something so much bigger than ourselves. For a better you, for a better community, for a better us. The Y, so much more.
Again, thank you all for coming today. We have a program that we're going to continue to run through. This isn't done by, again, just one. It's done by all. So I appreciate your time, appreciate you listening to me, and I'm going to pass it on to Rhonda again. Thank you very much.
Love that video. Guess you did too? The Y is about access for all, a community empowered to be so much more, serving children, youth, teens, families, adults, and seniors. As a nonprofit organization, the Y offers financial assistance, as Dave mentioned, to those who can't afford a membership, that can't afford programs to be involved in, that can't afford places for their kids to go after school. We also have insurance reimbursed memberships that don't pay at full rate and are partially subsidized. In 2022, the YMCA awarded over $403,000 in financial assistance for both membership and programs. That's 23% of our membership. So 1 in 5 participants, 1 in 5 that you saw up there in the video, are potentially on some form of financial assistance, and they're there because we have worked together with our community, with you as members, board members, staff, and brought that effort to bringing dollars to the table to be able to support them in their efforts to have a better life and higher quality of life. Over the 2022, 5,800, and I keep forgetting to switch the slides. Let's try that. Oh, thank you. They got my back. 5,823 people were affected by financial assistance in the year 2022. The funds raised at this breakfast helped to support the financial assistance program at the Y, and it's critical that we have people stand with us and stand together, collaborations, partnerships, and financial support. In the video, you saw also the Y is committed to healthy communities. Over the last several years, we've been challenged with leading healthy lives, right? But none has been more challenged than aging and chronic disease population groups. This group has experienced social isolation, increase in depression and anxiety, a decrease in physical activity, resulting in a reduction in quality of life. The Y is so much more. Providing specific programs for our aging members and those with chronic disease. Our health and wellness staff team, led by Rebecca Lilly, Association Health and Wellness Director, and by Shashu Baraka, our Active for Life Program Director, work with communities, working with communities, partners, physicians, certified exercise instructors, and others to be able to bring to the Y chronic disease programming like Parkinson's disease, progressive disease that affects neurological function. Total Parkinson's, there you go, is a fitness program designed to empower patients to manage the disease, its symptoms, and maintain the quality of life. This evidence-based program offers structured exercise routines focusing on strength, training, and disease-specific physical challenges. This is not just a program. As you see by the pictures shown for you, it's about people. It's about participants and their families working together to find a better way through and a better quality of life. Our instructors like Sherry Shawn, who lead them through this adventure of going to a program that they're not necessarily comfortable with, but together as a group, they work together to live through and work through the challenges that they face because of the disease. Another chronic disease program that we offer that is highly impactful, and many of you in this room have had the occasion to either know or experience adult cancer. Live Strong is a program for adult cancer survivors. We all know the impact that this has, the emotional toll, the physical toll. The focus of this program is to address the participants' physical conditioning, fatigue, and loss of functional ability. Small groups of cancer survivors work closely with Shashu, who is specifically trained in the elements of cancer, post-cancer exercise, and supportive cancer care. This program helps each participant to build muscles, strength, flexibility, endurance, improve functional capacity. All we're working, again, to build community within the programs that they're in, building support systems, building a common ground that cancer survivors can work together, help each other, and empower each other to be better. The Y is so much more. Let's not forget also about our group exercise and water fitness activities. I love going to Portage, partly because they're kind of all right together. And you walk in the building and the first thing you see is 30, 40 people in a water fitness class at 9 o'clock in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, 9 o'clock, 10, 11, 12. Then you look over and you see pickleball going on in the gymnasium and all courts full. Then you go into the group exercise classes and they're full. Activity, people coming together, community being developed, friendships being developed. Let me just share a quick story with you. One of our staff was taking a prospective member through the Y, doing a tour, and she said, you know, I'm live alone, I don't have a lot of support, and I really came here, and of course you can imagine this, right? Coming to a new building, walking in, not knowing anybody, not knowing what to expect, but she had the courage to come in the building, to do the tour, and when she started to see what was happening, it was like, maybe I need to really try this. So she joined. A couple of days later, she came back, running back up to the front desk, and expressed to the staff member that had given her the tour that she had just gone down and tried pickleball. Right? I love pickleball. It's dangerous, though. You got to watch it. And she tried pickleball. She sat there. She met people. And by the time she left, on her first day, she had phone numbers of 2 other people that she was going to go out and have lunch with. The why is so much more. The why connecting our core values, access for all, fostering healthy communities, and serving people of all ages and in all seasons of life. I'd like to share another story of another member. I hope you enjoy the video.
Well, every morning I get up as soon as I can because I have to follow my schedule to get to the Y. I always take coffee with me, have my water bottle. It's just wonderful to be able to exercise early in the morning and then plan for the day. Moving is so important as we age. Just moving, to get out, to walk. So that's why I go every day. It's so important I get that exercise in because I need to be healthy. And we're going to the Portage Y today. I go to both Ys. In May 2019, there was a heart health screening. I couldn't believe it. I was just stunned. He said, you have a blockage in the AV node on the left side. The next day on Monday, I received my pacemaker. But every day I was getting weaker and weaker. And then I was told I had congestive heart failure. I had my right lung 2/3 full, my left lung 1/3. I really couldn't go very far. I was lucky if I could walk 25 steps. So I had to go to the nursing home for rehab. I was really having a hard time. And I thought, I'm going to the Y. I just cannot wait. I've got to go back because I knew if I could get there and walk and move, I would do well. And I could get strength, endurance, flexibility, everything I needed. And that's why it's important I go every day. Hi, Carmen. Good morning.
You look cute today in your sweatshirt.
Oh, thank you. I love this sweatshirt.
Cute.
Thank you, thank you. My first day, of course, it wasn't easy. People would say, oh, where have you been or how have you been? Well, now I take more classes than before.
I notice with Helen, she's now a lot more outgoing. She's more confident in her abilities. Her quality of life has greatly increased.
I never want to go back to the nursing home.
Healthy aging actually begins when you're young. The big purpose is to keep you going to do whatever it is you want to continue to do in life.
I can't imagine my life without the Y. We encourage each other. It's kind of like a family.
You have the opportunity to feel like you belong.
It's all in our hands, this life of time.
And there's something for everyone, and it's so much more.
We watch it pass and grow. It is all in our hands, it is all in our hands.
I'm Megan Weinberg. I am an officer of the board for the Y, and I'm the CEO of ABRAXAS, and I am so proud to be the presenting sponsor of this breakfast this morning. I was asked to talk today about why the Y, and there are so many reasons. I started jotting all of them down, and I thought I could talk for the whole hour just about this by myself, but you don't want to listen to my voice for an hour, so I tried to pare that down and think about what are some of the themes that I hear when I talk to people about the Y. And one of the things that I hear the most, and I just heard it again this morning, is how wonderful our leader and CEO, Dave, is. Dave is a tremendous leader, and I think most of us in this room understand that
An organization gets its lifeblood and its soul and its feeling from its leader. It starts from the top down. And Dave is a tremendous leader. And as we saw from our wonderful Jean this morning, we have a fantastic leadership team who cares so much about every single employee, every single member, and how we can best serve our community. They don't wait for opportunities or problems to come to them. They are always looking for ways that we can reach out into the community to reach the underserved populations, reach the people who need community and resources. And it's beyond just a gym and swim, which I can speak very clearly to because I don't do the gym thing, I'm not gonna lie. But I have an opportunity to bring my children to the Y and know that they have a safe place to be. People can bring their families to the Y, and there's something for everybody to do there. The Y has a tremendous staff that is passionate about everything that they do and making sure that everybody feels welcome every day and has access to the resources that they need to live successful lives, whether it's something that the Y can provide directly or connecting them to all of our community partners and the services that they are able to provide. The staff pours their hearts and souls into what they do every day. And if you walk into the Y, it's very apparent. You can tell that everybody is happy to be there and they want to help. They want to be there, and that is something truly special. There's something for everybody. There's early childhood education. There are adaptive programs for people who aren't able to access things like sports in the traditional way. And I can tell you, having a child that does have a physical disability, the world is not as accessible as we would like for it to be, as accessible as it should be. But the Y is always looking for opportunities and ways to make the building not just physically accessible, but programs accessible to people in maybe very unique and different ways. My son has been able to participate in adaptive swim lessons that are one-on-one lessons that are really hard to find. And that's something that is so important to parents in this community because there are a lot of us that have children that want access to things, to social opportunities and safe places to be, and the Y is able to do that, and that is so tremendous. It's a safe place for teens and youth to go after school. Dave touched on the Men of Purpose. They are a tremendous organization that gives the youth something to look forward to and somewhere to be. How many times when you hear people talk about the Y, you've heard it at this breakfast before, there are so many people out there that have a story of, the Y saved my life. I don't know where I would be today if it weren't for the Y, if I didn't have somewhere to go in the summers or after school, when school was closed, all of those kinds of things. And we all get to be a part of that. We get to be a part of that story. It's rare to find a place where everybody in the family can go, whether it's through the Silver Sneakers program, whether it's through Livestrong, the Parkinson's program, early childhood, sports programs. And the Y is special because they really do take into account diversity, equitable access, and inclusion for all. And that is where all of you beautiful people come in and why you are here this morning, because we get to be a part of that story. You get to be a lifesaver. You get to be someone who can offer support to people who don't have anywhere else to turn. And so I ask you this morning to think hard and give generously, because as you saw, we gave out over $400,000 in financial aid last year, because the Y is for all. Whether you have the ability to pay for that or not, we will open the doors and make that accessible to everyone. So, without further ado, your table hosts have information that they will begin handing out to you so that you can do that. So that you are able to give, you can do that through checks. I think there's a QR code on there. You can do it through your phone if you're tech savvy. But I encourage you to give generously and think about all of the impact that you will be able to have on our community, because the Y is for all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. As we kind of wrap back up and circle back, a couple things I want to make sure I do a couple other thank yous. Miss Helen, do you mind standing? Miss Helen, our star of our video, is here today, so. And I know a lot of the others that were in that video were here today, so thank you for your time and helping us out. Thank you again to Miss Jean for her 20 plus years of dedicated service to the Y. I have one other, oh, go ahead, yeah, please. So as I was trying to say, we tried to keep this a secret best we could, and so we had Jean's table over there, and we kept putting like fillers into her spot so there would be 2 spots for her sons to be in, and she kept taking people out and putting them on her table, so we kept losing those spots, and they came in my office and go, Jean won't just leave the spots alone. So there was a reason for that, Jean.
That's what happens when you ask me to start filling name tags, and I'm reading all the names of all the people who are supposed to be at my table, and there were other tables.
She kept trying to fill her table back up. We said, there's a reason we have, but anyway, we couldn't tell her. But Jean, thank you. I appreciate it very much.
I was so dumbstruck earlier, I couldn't put words together, but the Y has been my home for a long time. I was at the Y for about 3 months when I realized that this was my forever home. And I am going to miss all of you. I'm taking the summer off to play in my garden. But come September, I will be back in the building and wearing just my member hat for a change.
Whoa. You still have a responsibility to the track. There's a broom. You know where it's at. Don't forget you have all right, perfect. I want to thank our ABRAXAS, our presenting sponsor again. Thank you for your support, Megan, and your team. Thank you. All the other table sponsors and donors of the Y last year and this year, thank you for your time and your dollars. We really appreciate it. Thank you again to the table hosts, the staff for all that you do. Truly, Megan was very kind with your words, so I appreciate that, but I am the least important person in this organization. The team out there does all the heavy lifting. I just get to sit back and get the accolades at times, but I really, in all honesty, they are the ones that are doing all the work, the important work that's most important. And I know that firsthand because, the Y saved my life. I'm a first-generation high school graduate in my family. That was, and I was lucky to get that. And so it was, 40, almost 50 years ago that I got introduced to the Y, and I would not be here today. I can honestly say I would not be here today if it wasn't for the YMCA. So it is life-changing. So again, a couple other people I need to thank. Rhonda thanked a lot of people. We need to really thank Rhonda. So if I give a round of applause for Rhonda for putting this event together. It is honestly interesting because how much my staff knows I like to maybe get in the weeds once in a while. But even today's breakfast, I wasn't worried because it was in really good hands with Rhonda and her team. And Vicki would come in my office even as they were planning and go, what do you think about this? I said, I trust you implicitly. She called me from Houston. Hey, have you looked at the video? I'm good. They are an amazing team that can be totally trusted, and I thank them so much for the hard work that they do. So as Rhonda said, give generously. It really allows us to do the work that we are called to do. So thank you again for coming today. And I will apologize for the parking ramp. I didn't know we were going to do construction up there. So thank you for all that took a challenge to get in today. And thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it very much.